Outer Orange.
Welcome back. It's BANLIST season. Let's go. Today we're gonna discuss BANLIST, what needs to be touched, what may not be to be touched, and just my personal opinion. Again, just my opinion. Everyone can have their own. It's perfectly fine. Usually this is the time where people get the most heated about this kind of stuff, so it's always kind of fun to talk about it because there's always like just a lot of opinions back and forth and all this kind of stuff going on. I really like it, but it's just my personal opinion. I just like these kind of conversations get a little salty. So don't be a salty bean. Don't be an ocean. Just be a happy lake pond fishy. Be a fishy. Be a happy fishy. Don't be salty. My personal predictions, what I think is going to happen. I'll be really square with you guys right now. I don't think anything's going to get banned in any formats. Like, I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't think anything's going to happen at all. I actually think it's going to be, I think they're probably just going to go into like maybe other card games, or maybe they'll give us like the Japanese ban list, which is very possible for standard. And that's probably going to be it. Let's pretend that they do ban something, or if there's a chance of banning something, well, I would like to see it. So for standard, my personal opinion, I actually don't want anything banned. But if we were to ban in standard, I think there's three things that definitely need to be touched. Number one, love address. In some way, shape, or form, touch it. But if you're gonna touch love address, you have to touch two other decks. And the second one is Raziel. Raziel needs a tap somewhere. Do we remove the dog or do something? Something needs to be touched. If they restrict love address to maybe force you have to write the old love address first before you get to the new one, that'll kill the deck pretty well enough to push it down. But then you need to touch Raziel because Raziel is a pretty oppressive deck. You can't just touch one, not the other. They're both insanely strong. Some people may disagree with me on this, but I think the power of both decks is really high. There might be differences in consistency, but both at peak are extremely powerful decks, and they do push other decks out of the format because of it, so they need to go. Something needs to happen to them. The third deck is actually the monster deck. This deck isn't, I actually don't even care about the other two decks I just mentioned. I just think this deck really needs an errata, and very soon it needs an errata. I think this deck is extremely unfair to play into. It randomly just high rolls you out of the game. It's not very fun. It might not have the best conversion rate. I just don't think it's a healthy deck anymore. And this is coming from someone who actually really likes Bat Bat. It's called like Ella Blah Blah Blah. I've been calling it Bat Bat since day one. It's been just what I've been calling it, the Bat Bat deck. I love the deck, and I never thought that I would see the day where this deck would actually be insane, but guess what? It is. It's extremely unfair to play into. You can kind of counterplay it a little bit, but the other TLDR, sometimes you can just randomly die. Deck tens enough. You can check OT. You could just scoop it up. You can sometimes die before riding to 3. I just don't think it's a fair and fun mechanically built deck right now. It just really needs a restriction. And the main thing, I just think MoFlash can just be restricted to have only 3 orders be put, and only 3 orders be put into the order zone, not more. I think that'll actually push the deck enough to where it will still be annoying to face into and people can still play it, but it won't be as oppressive as it is right now. And that's really it. I think that's all that standard would need. I'll be honest with you, I don't think it would need anything else if we were to even want to ban something, which I don't even think we need to. I know some people strongly disagree with me on this, but I think the format just started. I think it's perfectly fine. I think just what really sucks about this kind of stuff is we only really have like this like window to like play competitively, and it just so happens to be that the window we're in is when we have some of the most oppressive decks into the format. So all people just want them to go now so that people can have a more fair experience, and it kind of sucks because once the BCS is over, there really isn't much to play for anymore aside from Springfest, and there's gonna be a couple dead months. And I understand people's like the decisions to want to like try to remove stuff so that way we can have a more fair experience. But to be honest with y'all, every season we've had this happen like every single time. So I feel like there's more of like a catch-up system that needs to happen, or we just need to have more events so that way we don't have to worry about wanting things banned instantly, because if there's more events, more people can try stuff and they're not like tunneling into like one deck as much because they only have that like 1 or 2 chances to like really perform well, you know, all that kind of goodies. Premium could definitely use a big overhaul. I feel like just a lot of stuff can happen. I think the top of the tier is like bugs. That deck just really needs a tap. And I just made another video talking about the custom ban list, so I'm gonna go on another rant here. I'm sorry. I was always a big advocate of like that card not being touched, which is Ghidorah. If you guys don't know what card I'm talking about, it's Ghidorah. It's like the elephant in the room. Like everybody talks about this card in a good way or bad way, for or against it. It's like almost the same kind of conversations that people have with over triggers with this card, because there's just so many people for and against it. It's like really 50-50. I honestly think this card could go now. Bugs has changed a lot in the last couple of years thanks to D. Surprisingly enough, D has actually made bugs stronger over time, and also people have been refining their list this entire time. And I just think it's time to remove this card. It's been gatekeeping people from playing other decks for a while now, and you know, it'd be a difference if it's like 1 or 2 decks, but it's literally like 80% of the card pool, maybe 75. I don't have the exact number, but it's more than half of Card 5 Vanguard's card pool being gate kept right now because this card exists. Like, there's other ways you can turn off stuff. We can restrict the card to 1 so that we have that 1 turn where we pop off, because Bug's entire existence is to annoy destroy the opponent. And that's just what they do. Like this. So sure, have your one turn where you do it, but you shouldn't have 4 turns of this happening. And especially with the scaling and everything, think of where this deck's gonna head. Like, it just needs to go. We can touch Ghidorah and touch other decks. You know, it's okay. We can do that. Going into another thing that I personally would like to see, I just think Crest needs to go permanently. If you guys saw my other video talking about premium, you'll know how I feel about Crest. Specifically the Stride Crest. I'm not talking about the Energy Crest. It would be actually kind of interesting to see those come into premium. I don't know how much it would kill or destroy the format, but it'd be a really interesting concept to see. I know they purposely kept them out, probably because they can potentially break decks, but we don't know that because we don't know what that kind of format looks like, right? So my personal thing is Stride Crest should just completely be killed off. The future ones that come in, they should just be completely taken out of premium. It is just unhealthy. It's unfun. What's going to turn into is over time, everyone's just going to be playing Crests in their decks because they are just so much more powerful than like a regular deck because of the scaling they do. Every premium deck flips cards. Every premium deck G guards. So as you G guard and flip cards, you just get 30, 40, 50k plus power. And like, that is just way too much. It is way too much power. Some decks can auto flip and go all the way to GB8. Like a good example is even Ethics Buster, whatever, they're like Stride that like flips whenever they with their drive checks or whatever that card is in Over Grappler. Imagine them just flipping like 7 cards automatically, and now they have like a 40k front row like out of nowhere on their first Stride turn or whatever. Like, that's just not healthy. That is not a healthy deck to potentially come out of if they ever get a Crest, right? So just think about what it's doing now, and then think about what it could do to when all 24 clans have access to Crest. Like, it just makes every Crest deck just gets more. They just get more powerful, and then also it just makes it unfun because it's not something you can just automatically get. It's something you have to high roll into, and that's the other thing that sucks. If you're facing a mirror and they're also playing Crest and they don't see their Crest but you see yours, that's just a very unfun game to watch because one person is just high rolling you with their Crest and they're just winning the game, and you're just sitting there twiddling your thumbs going, oh, I guess I lose. I can still play, but I just can't play as well as they can because they just have the better power, the better magic numbers, the better everything. Literally, their deck's just better than mine now. And if neither finds Crest, then yeah, I guess we're having a fair game today. You know, I don't think that's fun. It would also open up creativity into deck. Just ban Crest. After that, I don't really know where to go from here because I think Bugs and Crest is a really big change in the format already. I do agree that there will be some decks that will come out of this that'll be powerful, mainly Grand Blue. If Crest don't get touch, Harry for sure. There'll be a lot of decks that will be oppressive. There's actually even the trial decks like Jewel Knights and Revengers will be just better decks because of Bugs going. So with that being said, there's probably going to be some decks that would need to be tapped, maybe in the same ban list or in a very, very future ban list right after it. It would have to be pretty quick. The TLDR is, I don't know how much powerful or how much the format is going to work with just like a couple changes, right? So because of that, I don't really want to add anything else to the list because I don't know where it's going to fall and how much stronger some decks are going to be than the others because I haven't been testing as much. I've been kind of just enjoying the format casually to see sort of where it goes. My expectations are so low. They're like here. I want them to be here, but they're like here when it comes to this stuff because it has just been so like kind of random with these ban lists. Sometimes we get like copy pasta stuff, sometimes we get a nuke, sometimes we get nothing, and I'm just sitting here like, we're gonna get nothing, and if we get something, I'm happy because then it just went above my expectations. Then I'll have to sit here and be sad and think, oh, another ban list with nothing really changing. And it's not a good thing that my expectations are like this. I shouldn't be expecting more, right? I should be expecting good stuff. I should be expecting some kind of testing happening so that way we can actually see the results. But I'm not gonna lie, recently the ban lists have been really low. First of all, we haven't been getting as much as JP has been getting, but also we're just not getting good ban lists. So I really think we could use some good ban lists, like, or some change up, or maybe some new products that I can then talk about on my channel. Yeah, you know. But anyway, guys, that's all I have for this video. Just want to talk about it real quick. 50 cards at shop, OuterOrange community goodies. We are getting the ban list this upcoming week, so really excited to see where it goes. I'm really excited to see where it goes as well, and I can't wait to see what potentially could change or not change. Anyway, peace out, guys. That's what I will see you guys in a future video. Bye.